Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid, just going over to Bitcoin. We've got a CoinsKid cruise. So in a minute, we've got this little rising channel in DXY. You know, at the minute, we're not seeing any kind of substantial move in crypto, especially Bitcoin, with this little breakdown in this chart. But what I said to you on Friday was, if we do see a close below the 10, I would expect a lovely little rally up into the resistance, confirmatory resistance. At that point, if we do start to roll here, then this is going to, confluence to the fact that I think we've got a big move here for Bitcoin. Now, this is a very volatile week. I think in the US there, we've got the CPI data coming out. So that, that creates volatility in the markets right there. If it's positive, obviously Bitcoin will do well, and if it's negative, then it won't. So what we're looking at right now, we need to see this high being held as resistance to confirm this little channel breakdown. Now this channel has lost support. Okay, we've been coming up like this, support, getting really tight, and towards the top of the channel we created a little bearish divergence just there. We lost the support, and right now, like I said to you, I expect this to break down, come back up into the resistance to back test support, resistance, because this is what you usually see before the continuation to the downside. So it's squeaky bum time over the next couple of days. Let's keep an eye on this chart, the DXY. Okay, so we're looking to hold that as a lower high, in the confluence of the fact that if it starts turning to resistance, starts to roll, your technical target will be met. At this point, it'd be like this little rising channel, come up, broke down, back test resistance, and then started to go. The clue was there. The close below the 10, you got to close below the 10. Right now you're rallying to resistance like we did just there, and then we're looking for the continuation to come down to the technical target of the channel. So if this does play out, we've got a little bit of confluence in this particular chart that we might see a bit of upside here for Bitcoin, but it's getting a little bit crabby, a little bit boring, isn't it? Take a look at this. Okay, so way back there in March of this year, we've got the rising channel, like I said to you, the rising wedge just there. We broke down, at that point, look at Bitcoin. As this broke down, look at Bitcoin. It absolutely took off into space. Same here, we broke down just there. As Bitcoin was starting creating this bottom down here in the corner, as this started to break down, this was a major clue that Bitcoin was about to do something like that. So, right now, it's not bullshit, it's just pure data. We've got this little breakdown in this channel, okay? So if this just starts to come up and turns this in resistance and drops, in theory, as this retraces to the technical target, we should be looking at Bitcoin going in the other direction, shouldn't we? So again, we'll keep an eye on this going forward, and I'll drop this into the charts every day this week for you. But just be patient. This is what I've always said to you. Whilst these bottoms get carved out, it is a grinding process. It shakes people out. People get really bored, really annoyed, and you tend to see some kind of crab in. And then, but what we're looking at is just any clues in any of the charts to give us an indication that we are looking at a bit of an upside here for Bitcoin. Obviously, we're rolling into October right now, which is typically the most bullish months for crypto. Is October, November, December. But we want to see the DXY breaking down, because I think if it starts to really take off, then Bitcoin and crypto risk could be in a spot above her. But what we're looking at as well is another chart to give us a clue. So let's take a look at the S&P 500 right now. Look at the S&P 500 at the moment. We've not lost any structure or support for a potential uptrend here, a macro uptrend. Obviously, this is your key high, and the fact that you've come up into this neckline as well, this is adding a little bit of confluence to potential pattern that's emerging here for the S&P 500, which is a huge inverse head and shoulders pattern. So it was at this point a few weeks ago I said to you, expect a retracement on this particular chart. And looking at some retracement levels right now, you can clearly see what we've done. We've bounced off the 55 EMA on the weekly, so technically that's a nice bit of support. But we do have this breakout point just there, this ascending triangle where we've broken out. We've not necessarily back to support. So again, like I said to you, you could be patient for this. Just wait for this particular signal to come in, see what happens at that point. If we get a bounce from there, start to come back up, this could signify the bottom on this chart, which would help add confluence to signifying the bottom on the Bitcoin chart as well. So what we're looking at right now for this particular chart, if it does start to come up and it attacks that level of resistance right there and takes that out, you've got your inverse head and shoulders pan, you've got your new all-time high on this chart, and obviously this is a huge move that's coming for this particular chart, a potential blow off top, okay, because you've got 5 waves there, and what you've got is a 1, an ABC2, 3, ABC4, and you've got your big move here, a potential blow off top. Now there is a little bit of confluence in this particular chart at the moment that I'm looking at with Bitcoin, and the fact that I think we might be leading into a blow off top for Bitcoin as well into 2024 right here. So we've got a little bit of confluence on this neckline here being broken anytime soon. It starts to come up and takes that level of resistance out, you're on the 1618, which is the next impulsive wave target of this particular chart. So obviously this will be all invalidated if you start to break down, you do something like that, and obviously you lose this low. But this particular chart is a clue basically, and this is why I've shown you this chart for so long, because we've just been using this as confluence to any moves upside down or whatever in Bitcoin. So what we've got in this particular chart, which I relayed to you way back in May, is we've got a beautiful signal on this chart where every time this printed this signal in last what is it, 70 years? You know, I've had 18 instances of this particular signal since the 50s. Every time it's printed it, you know, since then, it's never lost the low from which it's come, basically. It's always gone on to take out the high. So it's a very powerful signal. Again, data not emotion in the charts that I relay to you. And so far, you know, you run into that resistance, you fell back to it as support, and you've got your lovely little reaction off that signal. Okay, so right now we're having some kind of correction potentially back into this neckline here before going again. Now, this is just something you could wait for. You could just be patient, sit back, kick back, relax, okay, and just wait for this chart to do something. Obviously, if it breaks down, get the hell out of crypto, obviously. But if it starts to come up like this and breaks this white line as resistance, then you confirm in a left shoulder, a head, a right shoulder, and you know your technical target's up there, which is equally the 1618. So at the moment we are retaining structure here of a potential uptrend in the sense we've got a high, you know, you've got your low, you've got your high, and you've got a current high low basically. So we've got to respect what this is doing at the moment until it starts to break down, loses the red line, which is your bull market support just there, that wave one high at 4094. This is basically retracing, just like it retraced there, you're retracing right now. Okay, so obviously if it starts to break down to something like that, you've got clues in the charts that this isn't retracing. You know, you've had some kind of correction coming back up and you're looking at a monumental move to the downside. So I think if this chart starts to break down, for me, I'll be exiting crypto, and it really is. And you know, the thing with crypto and the things with trading is it is what if statements. You know, if something happens, you do this, if that happens, you do that, and you react to what the charts are telling you. So at the moment, for me, I've reacted positively all year because of what we've been seeing in multiple charts right here, with a breakdown of the DXY, with the S&P 500, with the RUT, you know, with the DJI, with Bitcoin, with XRP. We've been reacting positively because this is what we've seen in the charts. So at the minute, I have to remain positive and, you know, cautiously bullish basically. So what we're looking at right now is a correction coming in, hold support, start to come up. If you start to see this again, you could just re-enter Bitcoin or XRP or whatever project you want to jump into. You could just be out of it until you start to see that. If you see that, wow, you've got a clue that this is going to create a blow off top leading into 2024, and it's just adding confluence to the fact that I think Bitcoin might do as well. Okay, let's dive into the Bitcoin chart right now and see what we can see. But going forward, this is your bull market support on this chart, 4094. Lose that, I'm out basically. Let's dive into Bitcoin. At the minute, if that's a 1, that's a 2, that's a 3, we could have some kind of alternation here. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm looking at a possible leading diagonal at the moment. Okay, so with you know, with impulsive moves to the upside, this could be a macro wave 1 that's coming up. Okay, for Bitcoin. But obviously, what we want to see going forward is this high being broken. Okay, so we're looking at that high being broken to confirm, I think, 5 waves, and this is something we definitely need to see. 28598. Now, you know, please go back to the charts way back down here when we got the close down here. I said to you, we're running into that resistance, create some kind of ABC correction coming back. You can clearly see ABC correction coming back, held the lows, and then we broke. And like I said to you, at this point, this leg of resistance, I expect some kind of consolidation. So what we might have here is some kind of flat correction here for Bitcoin, okay, that's looking to hold this ascending level support in the sense of what this is a flat ABC correction, an ascending triangle, which is quite common. So what I will do today, you know, I know we're correcting right now and the market's getting a bit nasty, but what I will be doing today is just be patient. Okay, wait for the daily close, see what it tells us, because at the moment we keep closing, we're coming up into the resistance above, and we keep closing above that 10 EMA. It's creeping us up. So I'd most definitely be patient today, because I think if we see a close today above that 10 EMA, if you're not long already, you could long on Bitcoin and put your stop loss down here on this swing low, and you could be looking for another breakout to the upside. And then what we've got is a leading diagonal wave 1 off the lows here. Okay, beautiful leading diagonal is your flat wave 4, and then you got final 5th wave. It comes up, and with that you're going to start to see this particular orange line come up, make the lower high, you know, today, tomorrow, whatever, and then begin to roll to the downside. Because at the moment you can clearly see as the DXY's got that top just there, this is where this is starting to come back up. Okay, and at this point this is rolling, okay, because of the inverse correlation. So we're looking for this to make a lower high and drop, and then I'm obviously looking for this to make a higher low and pop basically. So you can see you get some kind of price compression here. But one thing that's giving the game away is these multiple closes above these EMAs. You're currently in a 10 and 20 and 55 golden cross right there, so it's looking pretty tasty, providing you don't see the closes below these EMAs. So that key EMA today, keep an eye on, be patient, is 27558. Currently Bitcoin is trading at 27508, so it's very tight. I will most definitely be patient, wait for the daily close today, because if we have got some kind of alternation, which usually does exist in leading diagonals, we've got a 1, ABC 2, 3, flat 4, 5. you know, so it's right there in front of us at the minute. So far so good, you know. Until we start to break down below these EMAs, I'm still cautiously bullish here on Bitcoin, because obviously there's no bias here. This could simply be an ABC before continuation, but at the moment we do seem to be holding these high lows with these EMAs creeping us up. So like I said to you, it's a patience game, isn't it? That's a key level resistance, there's a key leg of support, and a potential ascending triangle. Now we did see a wave 4 triangle in the leading diagonal on XRP, and we traded like an absolute boss. So what we're looking for here is just be patient, close above a 10 EMA or below today. Obviously it's going to game away. If we do start to close below, then the only thing we've got going forward is an ABC here, in the sense that that's an A, that's a B, and we're looking for a C. But if we start to take out these EMAs and we start to come down and we lose this shallow line, I think, you know, Bitcoin could be in a spot above or right there. You know, it could be in trouble, and all the cryptos could be in trouble, and with that you'll start to see this orange line just absolutely take off into space, you know, for Bitcoin right there. So that's a little update for Bitcoin today. Just please be patient, wait for the daily close, which is coming up. If we close above 27560, I'm looking to load up some more longs on Bitcoin, you know, with my stop loss on the previous swing low, and I'll give you all that in tomorrow's video. But so far so good, you know, we're coming upstairs, we're breaking out, we're looking pretty tasty, but providing we see the DXY breakdown here, you know, even here you can see there's a little bit of head and shoulders in this particular pattern. If it does break down and we lose this high, okay, and we fail to break that high and we start to break down here for the DXY, then this is going to go in the other direction. Okay, really, it's that simple. Hope you enjoyed that update. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Thank you for support. Back tomorrow with an update on Bitcoin. Bye bye.